Hello everybody, welcome to your reading. This is Gabby Turner, and we have 3 options today. We're going to be asking for a message from your angels. And so option 1 is the magical girl. You can use the timestamps or chapters below. Option number 2 is the dancer. And option number 3 is the possessed. So take a moment to get in touch with your intuition and to which reading or readings you feel guided to. Perhaps you don't feel strongly intuitively guided to any of them. In that case, pay attention to your intuition as well. And if you do feel called to one or more of these readings, just use the timestamps or chapters below, and I'll see you at your reading. All right, welcome to everybody who chose the magical girl. I feel like, we're going to look at this more in depth, but I feel like the first initial, I think the theme of your reading is to have awareness of your own personal strength. And I feel like there's a sort of ambitious energy with you. There's a knowing that you have a sort of star quality or something like that, and that you're meant to rise up to be kind of at the top of some sort of hierarchy. I don't feel like you're an ambitious person in the way of, it's like a jovial, fun, lighthearted energy that I get from you, but at the same time, you're meant for big things, basically. But I think as it relates to that, your spirit guides want you to recognize which people are really right for you in your path and which people might want to just use you, because you do have a lot of charisma and star quality. I feel like you have a very fun, vivacious personality. People are very drawn to you. You do provide a sort of sense of safety and comfort, and people love being loved by you. I feel like you have a beautiful big heart, and people want a piece of that. You have a very peaceful, loving, but also like I feel like you have like popular girl energy or popular guy energy, but I think you're being asked to be a little bit more skeptical of people's motives and not just be like, oh yay, we're all having fun, it's all great. Because not everyone's motives are about having fun and loving and being loved. There are a lot of people who are out there trying to climb to the top, who are willing to step on people to get there. I don't think that it would even occur to you to step on people to try to get to the top, because we also have Jupiter here, Jupiter in the first house. You know that you're special. I would say that. You do know that you're special. I think you have a sense of, knowing that you have, again, this star quality and that you shine and that you have a lot of charisma. Capricorn as well is showing me that, you know that you kind of have what it takes, and you're kind of like that champagne bubble that's just meant to kind of rise to the top of the champagne glass, you know that. You know that you're not clinging to the bottom of the champagne glass. That just isn't what life has in store for you. And I think that you have the hard work necessary to manifest this rise. But other people are just going to think that you've gotten lucky, because there is an aspect of luck to it, and I think you recognize it. You're like, well, I lucked into it. I have a great personality. I'm very talented. I'm very charismatic. People do tend to like me, I'm sure you have your doubts about it sometimes, but there is an energy here of both of these cards about like people being very drawn to you. And then with Isis and Capricorn, again, I think that that you are kind of meant for big things. You're like, you've got some like big queen energy, Your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming a reality. Stay focused. Yeah. But again, with that and the Capricorn energy, part of that focus has to be with recognizing that although you might love everyone, and it's probably easy for you to open your heart to anyone who comes along, you have to be discerning and skeptical of other people's motives. Your motives are very guileless, you know? I think that's the right word for it. Like you wouldn't hurt a fly. You know, you have zero intentions to hurt anyone. But that isn't true of everyone. Everyone isn't like you in that regard. Okay. So we're going to get more into it, but I want to look at the magical girl. From this deck, it's called the Bad Girl Oracle. And we'll just see more of what it says about the magical girl. All right, there is strength in numbers for the magical girl. In anime and manga, the magical girl is a young woman who finds herself bestowed with fantastical powers that are awakened by the appearance of an evil force that only she can battle and defeat. Her powers can include superhuman strength, telekinesis, or the manifestation of objects. The magical girl is sometimes reluctant or indifferent to her powers and eager to go back to normal. I think for you, you are aware of your powers, or you are waking up to them. I mean, it may not be specifically telekinesis, although if so, that's pretty awesome. But in any case, the magical girl is sometimes, okay, she can be characterized by a girlish clumsiness, forgetfulness, or even a bratty rejection of her destiny. Yeah, there's strong destiny energy here. You have a destiny for sure. But the magical girl may be guided to her full potential by an evolving group of magical girl peers, or by a mystical animal familiar. When pulled upright, the magical girl may signal that you have the power within you to face down a problem, or an untapped inner strength or ability. She may also signal you to ask for help from friends, or to step up to assist the people close to you. Again, you do draw a lot of people to you. You probably do want to help other people and assist them. When pulled in reverse, the magical girl may signal that your energies are not being put to good use, or that your attention is scattered. She may also signal that you're feeling overburdened by responsibility and are taking on too much. Upright, ability, skill, friendship, cooperation, and growth. Reversed, misfire, burden, reluctance, or competition. I think that your approach is friendship and lightheartedness, but you're not recognizing that other people may be coming at you from a place of competition, and that you can't necessarily trust everyone at face value. Okay. People know that they're safe with you, though. And I think the thing is that people who are sort of predatory or willing to be charming on the surface, but, sinister, with sinister motives underneath, like a wolf in sheep's clothing, those people, they know that they can trust you, and they'll take advantage of that, despite the fact that they themselves cannot be trusted. You know, people know they can come to you with their concerns, but if you go to them with your concerns, if they can use that against you, they will. I'm not saying everyone, but I'm saying this is about being discerning. So how can the magical girl pile, how can they become more discerning? I think part of it is trusting your intuition. Like, your gut instincts will tell you. There will be alarm bells that go off like, why is it that I just don't feel like hanging out with this particular person? Why do I feel like I don't want to take this phone call when this person calls me? Pay attention to that and don't judge it. And it isn't even about judging that person as right or wrong. This may not even be a sinister person with bad motives, but it could just be that there's something about their energy that, at least in that moment, isn't good for you. So trust. You don't have to go to every party that you're invited to. You don't have to take every phone call or respond to every text. Although you probably are invited to a lot of parties, you probably are getting a lot of texts, because I feel like people are extremely drawn to you. But don't question it so much, and certainly don't feel bad about it if you're just like feeling disengaged towards a particular person. Your gut instincts are leading you correctly. And then we get the Five of Wands. So it is like even if you do get, if your discernment does tell you like, oh yeah, this person is jealous, they're trying to compete with me, they're trying to undermine me. It's like, it's good to recognize it, but not to get fixated on it so much that it seems so big. The Five of Wands is recognizing, well, this is kind of small potatoes. In the big scheme of things, it's not something to get fixated on, but it is something to be aware of. So you can just see it for what it is and say, okay, I'm glad that I'm aware of it. Now I'm going to go on being my wonderful magical girl self. Like knowledge is power, but I'm a happy person. I'm a lighthearted person. I'm someone here who has a destiny to fulfill. I mean, you're probably not always happy because nobody is, and that's not realistic. But I do feel like you try to be more in a positive mindset, especially because we have the magical girl paired with the Jupiter card. You would prefer not to be bogged down by drama. So this is just saying be aware of, potential saboteurs that may come along, but don't allow it to drag you away from your more optimistic approach to life at the same time. Yeah. And with the Two of Swords, again, this is like staying in a peaceful mindset, not allowing anything to really disturb the balance too much. So let's say someone texts you or invites you to a party and you're just like, I'm not feeling it. Again, come back to your place of equilibrium. Or if you notice someone is trying to undermine you or be petty, again, it's just I'm aware of my intuition. I'm aware of what I'm noticing from other people. And I'm coming back to my own energy. And I'm coming back to my own sense of inner peace and calmness. And it's also, I think, the guidance is to always have this place of your inner sanctuary. Anywhere you are in life, you need to have a method of like grounding and centering. So maybe you could explore, if you don't already have a way of doing that, exploring methods of grounding and centering. One method that I know of that you can use anywhere if you feel kind of stressed or nervous is to choose a color and look around the room and just note everything that you see that is that color, because it immediately grounds you into the present moment, because you have to just focus on that particular color. And so anything else that's causing stress can't occupy your mind, at least for that moment, right? So that's a way to kind of bring down nervous energy pretty quickly. But I would say, to look into other methods as well that could like serve that purpose of keeping you grounded and safely secure and in a calm mindset in any moment of your life. Be in this calm mindset as much as possible. So find ways of practicing that calmness that work for you. Being in nature, meditation, mindfulness, listening to the sounds of nature even. Whatever works for you. Okay, and then we have the King of Pentacles. So I think this goes back to like this Capricorn energy and Goddess Isis, and recognizing that you are meant for big things. You are meant to achieve something. There is something that you need to focus on. You have superpowers, right? You have to put those powers to use in some way. Maybe you would rather just have fun. But I think that, what is the balance between having fun and actually reaching your potential? You were given these talents for a reason. It's good to put them to use. And yeah, so I think also your spirit guides want you to think about your goals. What do they have to say about your goals? I think that they want you to challenge yourself, but also at the same time, like take it easy, take it step by step, take it day by day. Find that balance, find that, people talk about work-life balance. I think here it's like goal achievement versus fun and relaxation balance. How do you find the balance between those two things? Okay. And let's see, any final messages? I think that I think also that your guides are telling you that even some of the people that maybe you're discerning are not the best for you, there may be certain tendencies within those people or dynamics that those people have that you could learn from when it comes to establishing your own boundaries. Notice how other people are willing to set boundaries in their lives and be willing to do that, you know? Because I don't think that being ruthless or being cold would be anything that would come easily to you guys. But it is, I mean, not to be ruthless per se, but to be able to put up firm boundaries with other people. You need to see how other people are doing that so that you can start practicing it more when you become aware that someone may be trying to infringe upon you in some way. And this allows you to focus more on the people who do bring you joy and who aren't trying to get anything out of you, but who are simply there to live in the moment with you, which I feel like is what you most enjoy doing, is living in the moment. So it benefits you to be able to draw firm boundaries with other people who would take away from that, so that you have more time and energy to spend with the people who are truly enriching your life. So I think that's pretty much it that I'm getting for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you so much to all of my magical girls watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Welcome to everybody who chose the second option, the dancer. So the initial thing that I'm getting here is, first of all, I think that your spirit guides do have a very prominent message to deliver to you, because your tarot cards that came up are all major arcana cards. We have the Hermit, the Devil, and the Temperance card. I think that overall, there is a certain, you have a sort of intimidating nature to you, because you're not afraid of the shadow aspects of life. You're not afraid of facing your own dark side. You're not afraid of facing the truth that darkness exists in the world. You're not afraid of doing things on your own. You're not afraid of the hardship of having to go it alone. And I think also, I don't know, there's almost like, I don't want to say nihilistic, but I don't know, something like that, nihilistic or existentialist. It's like, I think that you guys, it's ironic because you chose the dancer, so this card in and of itself seems like upbeat and fun and all of that. But I feel like there's a part of you that is, you see the reality of life in sometimes a lot of shades of gray. I mean, I think maybe you can kind of see the beauty of it poking through as well, but you're understanding that life is full of limitations. We have Saturn in the 9th house. Like, there are obstacles in life. There are limitations. There are hardships. There are extreme hardships sometimes. And I feel like that your worldview is shaped by understanding that there are even some very malevolent forces at work in the world. You know, I think you see it for what it is. Also, we have the grays, utilitarian, organized, intimidating. I mean, this looks like they're doing experiments on people who don't want experiments to be done on them. So like this is the type of thing that you're aware of. Like, there are some really shady things going on in the world, and you're not afraid of looking behind the wall, right? Like literally behind this wall on this Devil card. This is from the Edgar Allan Poe tarot deck, and I can't think of the name of this short story, but in one of his short stories, the protagonist or the main character, I think, is it the Telltale Heart? It's like he murdered his wife and hid her in the wall, and he had this fear that someone would find out. But in any case, for you guys, I feel like you're aware that this type of like really disturbing things in the world exist, and that people have ways of covering it up. But you're like, well, I know it's there. You know, it can get covered up, but I still see it, you know. And with this Lady Portia card, it says, divine order, do what you feel is right, an important lesson is unfolding. I think that for you guys, there is this sort of sense of integrity or sense of, you know, there has to be a way of, you know, kind of finding justice in a world that is like this. But I think that the fact that you can face all of that, all of what is disturbing in the world, and still have a sort of sense of hope, enough hope to, like, you know, dance and do your thing and like be in the groove of life and still have a sort of sense of optimism. It's like you're aware of all this, but you're still not dragged down by that. And with this Horus Cosmic Gateway, the fact that you can see that, okay, maybe there's a greater purpose, or maybe there's a way out of this, you know, not losing hope. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. You know, it's to your benefit that you can, in the face of all of this hardship and all of these obstacles and the hard truths of life, even the hard truths that are, you know, oftentimes maybe hidden, that you can sort of see some sort of greater purpose in all of it. Maybe you can't always get there, you know, like I'm feeling like probably sometimes this does legitimately kind of get you down. And it may be difficult to see the positive or to focus on the positive, but somehow or other, I feel like you're still able to. And in any case, this is kind of setting the scene for what your angels want to talk to you about. I feel called to start out by reading the full message of Horus and the book, Horus Cosmic Gateway. This is from the Keepers of the Light. Let's see here. All right. Horus is the Egyptian eagle-headed god. So again, like an eagle, it's like you can kind of survey the land. You can kind of see from a higher perspective, and you see all of what's happening, or as much of it as any person can, right? Horus is the Egyptian eagle-headed god and son / twin flame of the goddess Isis. He is known for his foresight, psychic awareness, and ability to travel between the worlds. He can help us move into the cosmos with our mind, meditations, and prayers so that we can harness the natural magic that surrounds us. He was known for ritual magic in the past, and now he helps create pockets of energy in the world where we can access light, wisdom, and insight. If you are seeing the symbol of an eye appearing around you, know that Horus is asking you to become aware of how you are influencing the energy around you and how it in turn is influencing you. You are connected to the universe and have the ability to manifest miraculous experiences. Your thoughts, words, and actions are like magnets, drawing the energy that creates and cultivates your world. You have a stellar gateway chakra above your head, a vortex of energy that is influenced by your own energy. You can place ideas into this vortex to create what you are seeking. The universe also offers you guidance, abundance, support, and healing based on your capacity to connect to it and accept it. You have a real opportunity to further that connection now by sending prayers and intentions out into the cosmos. So yeah, I feel like the kind of like positive, loving energy that you're sending out into the world is having a tremendous effect. You're having a more miraculous or more impactful effect on all of this, you know, disturbing or difficult stuff that we're talking about than you realize. And I think that we're going to learn a little bit more about that if we look into the Dancer card as well. So I hope you're not against reading from the book, because I feel like for this reading, I just feel called to do that, to kind of get to the full heart of all of the message. Okay, the dancer's body is their instrument. Ooh, and I feel like you are an instrument too, in the way that you're connecting to this cosmic gateway that we talked about in the Horus card. Okay. You are an instrument, and you're an instrument that can bring about miracles and shift the energy in the world. Okay. The dancer presents a mastery of control over their physical movement and expression, and is a subject of fascination across a variety of genres. In the psychological thriller, they may obsess over perfecting their performance to the point of mania. I guess they're talking about, isn't it like the movie Black Swan, which I haven't seen? It's about dancers who do that. Okay, in the psychological thriller, dancers may obsess over perfecting their performance to the point of mania. In horror, they may perform a physical expression of moral corruption. In erotica, they may move to seduce and entice. Regardless of their particular presentation, the dancer commands attention through perseverance, their refinement and of skill, even if just performing for themselves. When pulled upright, the dancer may signal you to explore new forms of physical expression for your own personal pleasure. She may also signal you to follow a new passion or connect with new inspirations. You may also need to rely on your flexibility to get you through a complex situation. When pulled in reverse, the dancer may signal that you're feeling out of sync or moving in slow motion. Something may be holding you back. Maybe it's a fear of mistakes. Consider ways you can loosen up and find your footing again. So the upright meaning is energy, expression, flow, passion, connection, and practice. Reversed, intimidation, diffidence, inertia, and incoordination. I think for you, it's mostly the upright energy. Like that, your spirit guides want to remind you that there are many ways, dancing is one of them, that we can connect to our spiritual and magical powers of manifestation. So if you want to put it out there to the universe that you want to see, some of this garbage in the world cleaned up, there are many ways that you can harness that intention through dance itself. Dance for thousands of years has been used in spiritual and magical practices, but it could be anything, like anything that is, can be used to sort of channel your passions and the intentions that you have in terms of you manifesting a better world. Okay. I feel like I'm going to take a couple cards from this deck. Vision. You have a vision, I think. Trust in your ability to create the vision in your soul. You have a vision for a better world, a world, like I said, that's more cleaned up and free of this kind of toxic lower vibrational stuff that happens in the world. Inner alchemy. Inner alchemy is achieved when you react to fear with love. Wow. That's exactly what your guides are asking you to keep doing. React to this fear-based reality that exists with love. Observation. You have observed that there are truly some unhealthy things happening in the world. Expand your consciousness by observing the divine matrix of life. But you haven't lost sight of the fact that that's not the whole picture, and that something better is possible. See all aspects of yourself through the reflection of the one who mirrors your hidden self. Yeah, and a lot of it, again, is because you are capable of observing your own shadow. You're not scared of your own shadow. You can self-reflect. And so I think, again, your guides want to continue to encourage you to be doing that. The world isn't all holiness and light and goodness and everything is all great all the time. There are lots of stuff that's very disturbing in the world. And you are also not all like light and love and goodness. There are aspects of you that perhaps are disturbing or dark. And you pull upon your own power to create alchemy through recognizing the shadow and using it rather than the shadow using you. I do feel like there's a lot of lessons. I think that your spirit guides maybe want you to do some more exploration of spiritual and or magical practice in terms of, how do you increase your ability to alchemize your vision, to bring your vision into the world. Yeah, I feel like you're meant to become an authority in some way, to really establish yourself when it comes to some sort of spiritual and or magical practice. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Your guides see a lot of potential in you to really increase your knowledge and become a conduit of knowledge. And maybe part of that journey is recognizing how much knowledge you already have, or just recognizing the potential you have, or both. Recognizing that you are meant to achieve some sort of higher level of spiritual, like I said, I want to say spiritual and or magical practice. And being at peace with that. Why wouldn't you be at peace with it? Maybe it's because you feel like there's a lot being asked of you. To those with great power comes great responsibility, and that could be a little bit stressful to you, considering how much, of this sort of fear-based stuff that you are aware does exist in the world. So to recognize that you're sort of being called to step into some sort of greater potential here as maybe a guide to other people, a guide to help us move beyond all of this that may seem stressful to you just because that's a lot of responsibility, right? But you're not in it alone. We have the Hermit card down here, so sometimes you may feel like you're alone. Maybe you feel like you're the only person who sees certain things, but you absolutely are not. And I think already your guides are giving you evidence of that. They're giving you evidence that you're not the only one who sees things. There are other people who see that there are equally problematic issues in the world. And even those people may not always agree with you, and vice versa. But don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, I feel like kind of be open to finding those people with whom you are aligned so that you know that you're not doing this alone. So I think that's basically the message. I really hope that has been helpful, dancers. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Welcome to everyone who chose the Possessed. What I'm initially getting for you guys is that you definitely have almost an eerie way of kind of knowing things. I mean, obviously it's psychic, but it's psychic in a way that is sort of like eerie, sort of, is the best way I have of, expressing it. It's this card, Odin, Psychic Insight. It says, your third eye is open. See the truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. We also have Saint Germain, Karma Releasing. Move beyond drama. Create your own path. Make room for good energy. And then we have Mantis Beings. Enigma. Elusive. Sensitive. We have the Nine of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and then the Universe card. These two cards too, these tarot cards, it shows someone like walking through a dark forest, and this person is sitting out in the middle of some kind of lagoon or swamp or something, and it's a very dark and foreboding energy as well. And that's why I'm saying eerie. It is sort of eerie here. The psychic insights. Some people are attuned to psychic insights that are more like light and positive, but I think that for whatever reason, you're very attuned to psychic insights that might be a little bit more I don't know, eerie, it could be like extraterrestrial stuff even, or paranormal, like ghostly presences and things like that, which would make sense but because you chose the possessed card. We also have the South Node conjunct Neptune and Aquarius in the third house. So this would mean that you have a natural ability to tune in psychically to things that are extraterrestrial or supernatural, to kind of like, I don't know, the world beyond. I feel it is maybe ET type stuff. I mean, this particular deck I use is all about ET stuff, so that's not why I'm saying that. I wasn't picking up extraterrestrial stuff in the other readings, even though I used this mystic Martian oracle. I used it in all of the readings, but I am getting it here. But also it could be supernatural, but something like that. And then we have in the third house. So I think that even though what you're psychically picking up on could be sort of creepy to a lot of people, maybe it's even a little bit creepy to you, I think what your angels are saying that there is some sort of intellectual value here. And this is something that you probably should be communicating or talking to other people about. Maybe you feel like people won't trust you, or you feel like people won't believe you, or you think it's too creepy, too creepy or too scary or something like that, that you have to face it alone. I don't know. But I think with this karma releasing, move beyond drama, create your own path, make room for good energy. I think any kind of fears that you have related to this, it's time to release those fears. I mean, maybe you're fearful of the actual experiences. Even if that's the case, I think the reason that your angels want to connect with you on this is that they're saying, listen, you're having these experiences, you're having this psychic awareness of things that maybe a lot of people would not feel comfortable having, and they want you to know that you are safe and that they're around you, that you are protected. You're a sensitive person for a reason. I'm getting that message as well. There's a reason why you have these particular sensitivities, and it is something that you need to communicate with other people. But in order maybe for you to engage in that more, you kind of have to let go of the fear. I want to read this card from the book and also this possessed card from the book. So let's see if that gives us more insight into what the message is for you guys. Some consider the mantis beings to be one of the most mysterious. It is said they originated from the Virgo constellation. Virgo is known to be an overthinker, so maybe you guys are overthinking this experience even. In the Sombrero Galaxy, I didn't know we had a galaxy called the Sombrero Galaxy, some 29 million light years from Earth. Certain factions also reside in the Draco constellation. Mantis beings are bipedal, standing up to 10 feet tall with additional joints in their long, spindly limbs. They have an exoskeleton body that ranges in colors from greens to browns to black. Their neck, arms, and hands have additional joints, and they are insectoid in appearance, similar to Earth's praying mantis. They have sometimes been associated with abduction and contactee phenomena, and reports claim they have an oily covering substance on their body for reasons that are still speculative. Ancient Egyptians, Aboriginal, and African mythologies make reference to these beings. Reports say the mantis beings' culture reverses the matriarchal social structure, and that they honor subtle feminine receptive frequencies to maintain a heightened tuned-in awareness. They are masters of sound and color vibrations, both in healing, presence, and in maintaining an altered state of higher consciousness. These essential practices are also carried through the mantis beings' cultural ceremonies to maintain a highly evolved civilization. They are telepathic and, like the blue avians, have a highly sophisticated, sentient, spherical orb force field technology for interdimensional time travel. So it shows like these little orbs too in the picture here. Some say they are the silent overlords that monitor and observe the cosmic species' spiritual progress. So enigma, elusive, sensitive, altered states of consciousness, high vibrations, dance, open-minded, ceremony, celebration, foresight, overseer, movement, observation, matriarchal, manager. I think the reverse words here are maybe what you're afraid of, how you're afraid people will react. That people will be narrow-minded, I think in particular, narrow-minded, or just, that people won't believe you or something about these experiences that you're having or have had. Okay, so let's ask a little bit more here. I'm going to read this in a moment. I don't feel called to do it quite yet, but what do your angels want you to know? You're having some sort of supernatural or extraterrestrial experiences. What are you supposed to know about this? Letting go of the fear. I mean, I think letting go of any fears associated with the experience itself and with communicating about it. Also understanding there's a reason why you're able to have this. What else? The universe speaks to you through your dreams. So definitely, I think maybe some of the eerie experiences some of you have had have been from dreams. Maybe it's dreams themselves rather than ETs or ghosts or anything like that. Or it could be that your angels are trying to give you messages about these experiences through your dreams. Be patient and allow destiny to unfold at its own pace. I think what I get here is that it's just very perplexing. The experiences you've had, you don't understand them. I think that you're struggling intellectually, even yourself, to kind of like just understand what is happening, what has happened, what is happening. So maybe you're not sure how to communicate it to other people, partly because of that. It's like, this is so difficult to explain. It's inexplicable. So how can I start to have a dialogue with other people about it? See your adversaries as opportunities to expand your spiritual light. So, people who may not understand this start to see those as opportunities because maybe you don't understand it yourself. So if other people don't understand it, it's like you can understand their lack of understanding because you are confused as well. I kind of feel like just in talking about these experiences, even if they're very confusing to you, through talking to other people and getting past that fear of communicating it outwardly, it will actually give you a better understanding. And maybe you'll actually come across someone who does understand what you've been through and can shed some light. Blue star. Follow the light of your inner compass, the blue star. It will lead you to the truth that resides within your soul. So yeah, I think that maybe what's happening is that you've experienced something very eerie, very peculiar, very strange, supernatural or something like that, and you're really not sure yourself what to make of it, but it's so bizarre that you're not really sure how to communicate it as well. You are being guided to start speaking about it so that you can arrive at the truth, so that you can come to a greater truth of what this is. And I think that, the Knight of Pentacles, again, this kind of goes back to Virgo energy. Virgo is the most kind of ordinary in terms of energies and prototypes. Virgo is the most ordinary of all the signs. So what you've experienced is not ordinary. It's not everyday. And yet, I think your angels want to make you realize that you're not so weird as you think that you are. Like there's a lot of weird stuff that just happens in everyday life. And you're just a regular person, like you're not some like bizarre weirdo that nobody can understand, even though you may have had this bizarre experience that you yourself don't understand. You're more normal than you realize. You're more regular than you realize. And let's see here. You do have an enviable level of psychic ability, I think, or that sensitivity that we were talking about before. So yeah, you are extraordinary in that way. And you do need to acknowledge the fact that, some people are going to react to that from their ego, you know. You might be afraid that people think that you're lying or something like that. I think your angels are saying what's more likely is, let's say you feel like you had a visit from extraterrestrials and you're kind of confused about the whole experience. You want to talk to someone about it, but you're afraid people won't believe you or they'll think you're crazy or something. It's like your spirit guides are saying that the more likely reaction people would have is kind of like ego-based, where they're like, well, why am I not having an ET experience? Or like, why are, something like that. I don't know. I'm kind of confused about the message here. I think that they are preparing you for that because I think that you guys are sensitive in a lot of different ways. So they're not trying to say that there won't be zero reactions from people that would bother you. If you try to speak about this, there will be reactions from people that will bother you, Maybe you've already experienced that, and that's why you're even hesitant, because you already know that it's true. But I don't know. I feel like they're just encouraging it anyway. It's still helpful to you to talk about it, and despite the difficulties, despite the fact that there might be opponents, right? See your adversaries as opportunities to expand your spiritual light. How can they use people who would react badly as a way to expand their spiritual light? Well, it helps you to build your strength in a way, Think about anyone who's come forward with things like this that are like so difficult to believe. They had a lot of pushback as well, but people have benefited from them being willing to share their experiences anyway, right? A lot of people have. I mean, there's going to be pushback with anything you do, but that sort of challenge, when you face challenges like that, it makes you stronger. And I think that there is a sort of joy and, again, light that will come from recognizing, hey, I am strong enough. I am strong enough to go out here and express my truth. And my truth is, I had this experience. It was weird, but I need to talk about it. Okay, let me read this message from the book now, The Possessed, and see what else that gives us. The possessed is irrepressible. There you go. Nothing can get you down, right? In horror, the possessed is a woman who is inhabited by a demonic presence. Her demeanor before possession may be youthful and innocent, throwing her newly possessed, frightful self into dramatic relief. She may also have been a more complex, mature woman, making her an ideal vessel for further corruption. Her possessor may present itself intermittently, allowing the possessed some control, or may overtake her completely, driving her to do things outside the bounds of normal behavior. When pulled upright, the possessed may signal that something outside of yourself is driving you forward, or that you may be vulnerable to manipulation. She may signal an out-of-control feeling and action taken without regard for consequence. When pulled in reverse, the possessed may signal that you've taken a stand in your convictions, or that you're in control of your passions. She may also signal you to be firm in the personal boundaries you've established and guard against anyone seeking to transgress them. Upright, lots of control, frenzy, manipulation, compulsion, anxiety. Reversed, passion, belief, conviction, protection, and boundaries. So this Bad Girl Oracle, it's like each card is kind of like a movie trope or something. I just kind of feel like whatever it is that you've experienced has sort of made you feel out of control in some way, or maybe even doubting yourself, or doubting your behaviors, or feeling like there's definitely a feeling here maybe of worrying that you're not okay or not normal. Queen of Wands. I think whatever's going on here, you came into this life to have some very unique experiences. You came into this incarnation just wanting to have some very bizarre, out there experiences. And your angels are reminding you that this is a part of your chosen journey. And again, we have two signs here of success. We have the Six of Wands and also the Universe card. So whatever this is, I feel like believe in yourself. I think you need to believe in yourself, and don't allow yourself to fall into self-doubt or self-judgment. Wow. This also sort of seems like a victory. You're meant to have a victory. Maybe something has happened to you where you feel taken advantage of, or that you were transgressed in some way. Like I said, for some of you, this may be literally like, you know, some sort of visit from an extraterrestrial. In this case, maybe it was one that was unpleasant, and you feel a sense of needing to take back control of your life. Yeah. I feel like your angels are saying that you can take back control of your life. Whatever this creepy, eerie experience was that you've had. The High Priestess coming up more than once. I think that you will find the truth. If you're still kind of uncertain about what the whole truth is, you will find it. That will be part of the victory too. You know, maybe you're missing some of the pieces of the puzzle. I think that whatever it was that happened to you, if this was a ghost, an ET, another person, you know, like, I feel like with all of these kind of like mirrors going on, like you were purposefully made to be confused. Also, the Seven of Cups has to do with confusion. If you feel confused, it's because someone or some entity wanted you to be confused. But don't make that keep you from recognizing that you can overcome that and come to the truth. There are other people who you might pass by, like at the grocery store or wherever, whatever, who've had similar experiences. I feel like there's also this message of like, this is not as unusual or bizarre of an experience as what you think it is. There are plenty of other rational, quote unquote, regular people who would like totally understand what you've experienced. So again, I think it goes back to patience. Be patient and allow destiny to unfold at its own pace. You will find the answers that you're seeking. I think a lot of you are looking for answers about something that you've experienced, and you will get those answers in time. Okay, any final messages here? For this group. Yeah, the moon. I mean, the moon is saying you are going to have to continue to walk through the darkness for a while. Things are not going to be totally lit up immediately. The entirety of the truth that you're seeking the missing puzzle pieces, you're not going to get to them automatically. It's not just going to come in like this, that everything is lit up and all of the truth is out there. But as you continue to sort of like grope through the darkness, you know, it's like literally being outside and all you've got to go by is the light of the moon, and you can still somehow make your way forward, and eventually everything will dawn on you. You know, you will have this reward, you will have this victory where all of a sudden, if you're patient enough to continue to walk through the darkness, you will get to the light and you will get to the truth. Yeah, you're stronger than you recognize. And I feel, be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself for the strength that you have shown so far as well. So I think that's the final message. I hope that this makes sense and is helpful, guys. This was a pretty unique message coming from your angels, but again, they're very lovingly around you. They understand that this may have been a scary experience that you've been through, and you know, they want you to let go of that fear and recognize your power and recognize that you will come to the truth. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.